Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you guys how to make this DIY farmhouse. It's kind of like, it's just a piece of decor. So you have two options with this. It could be wall decor, or you could have it sitting on your table, or you could add two handles on this, which I mentioned later on in the video. You can get them from Hobby Lobby, Lowe's, your local junk store, something like that. But you could add two handles on here and create what they call like a TV tray or something like that for snacks and drinks in the summertime or something like that would be pretty cool. So you have tons of options. You could do something like this. This font here is completely free in Cricut Design Space for Access members. There's a ton of different stuff like this. And all I did was go to images and type in the word welcome. And then this came up, but you can look through, there's tons of different welcome to our home, as well as you could do your last name, do your T with your last, so like I'm Thomas, I would do a big T with Thomas through it with established. I've seen where people just do the word gather down here, or just their name, or you know, something small, or just the word welcome here and put a big bow and have it hanging on their door. These are at Hobby Lobby. I'll probably mention them here in a minute, but Hobby Lobby, they're $19.99. I used a 40% off coupon. I believe I got it for like $12.99. So it's super affordable. So this is less than $20 to make because I use Oracle 651, which I think is like, what is it, 40-something a sheet. So it's less than $20 to make. And then I use some wax to do this. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for today's project, what you're going to need is a piece of this like circle wood. This is Pine Round is what it's called. It's by Wood Pile Fun at Hobby Lobby. They are $19.99 and I used a 40% off coupon. I think I got it around $12.99 or so. They're pretty thick. Hopefully you guys can see this. They're really nice. Let me see the ruler. I think those are about, I would say about an inch thick is what that is, but it's super nice. So you can figure out whether you want to use this side or whether you want to use this side. Today I think I'm just going to stick with this side here. This side may be a little bit smoother, but that's okay. I think I'm going to stick with this side here. First thing I'm going to do is pull off the sticker. Okay, so another thing you're going to need is some sort of stain, wax, or paint to coat this with, or you could leave it like this if that's how you like it. What I'm going to be using today is home decor wax. This is at Hobby Lobby for $1.99. Hopefully you guys can see this. Excuse my nails. This is let's see, 6445 antique wax, and this is what the top looks like, but this is what it looks like I said, $1.99, and it just says home decor wax. I think it's by Plaid Enterprise. But anyways, it's like I said, there's tons of different colors. This is what I'm going to use today. Basically, with a wax like this, you're just going to, this one says you use like a paintbrush and kind of paint it in there. And what I'm probably going to do is squeeze some onto a little piece of felt pad. And then I'm going to use that just to kind of rub it in. You could use a paper towel, a little paintbrush, foam brush, whatever you want to use. So, like I said, wax, stain, or some sort of paint. And then I went with my Cricut maker and I cut out this sign right here, Oracle 651 vinyl, and I just did it in white. So this is a permanent. You could do it in permanent or removable. Type in the search bar is welcome for images, and just keep scrolling, you'll see this. You could always do farmhouse, and this one will come up as well. But I did welcome to our farmhouse. They have it in different colors. Like I think this is like green and these are different colors, but I just changed it all to white. So I'm going to be putting that on here. Now you could do like, my name is Thomas. I could do like a big T and then do Thomas and then do established. I've seen where people just have the word gather down here. They have just welcome. They put a bow and a hanger and hang it on their door. Whatever you want to do. But I am currently in the process of transitioning our home into like this farmhouse decor. So this is one of the things that's going to go in there. So I thought I would go ahead and share this project with you. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm just taking some scrap paper here. This is kind of like old butcher's paper, and you could use parchment paper, just whatever paper to kind of protect my surface is all I'm doing. Okay, so all I want to do is go over the front here and the sides. I'm not concerned about the back. And so we're going to do that. Now, according to my directions on my wax, it tells me I'm supposed to leave this to sit overnight, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and get it coated on here. I'm going to set it aside for probably about an hour, and then you're supposed to kind of buff this wax in, so I'll come back and do that, and then we'll put the vinyl on. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is, I think it's already just ready to go. Normally you've got like a little peel tab, and I think I'm just going to, and I probably should have had gloves because it's probably going to stain my hands, but I'm just going to roll with it. So all I'm going to do is just kind of get this and go over it just like this. Maybe kind of just get it on here like that, and we'll see how it kind of works. Let's try a paintbrush really quick just to see if it doesn't absorb as much. So what I'm going to do is kind of get some on here like this and then paint in there. I think that's definitely going to work a lot better. I think a lot of my wax was just kind of absorbing into my felt. So I'm going to go do it just like this. Now you could go ahead and push this onto like your little, I could do it on the side here and dip it in, but I just like to kind of put it on there. That's how I would do like my paint and stuff too, just kind of put it on there. You could do it however you want to, but I'm probably going to put this in fast forward motion and get this whole thing covered. So I feel like I've got it completely coated. What I did was I may see a few spots here and there that as you rotate this and turn it, I just turn it on the paper as it went all the way around the edges. You may see a few spots here and there that at a certain angle you may see a few more tiny little dots that need to be filled in. If you feel like you want to go over it another time, I like to have a little bit of the washed out look, so that's what I've kind of done here. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, let it dry, work on another project, and I'll come back. Okay, so now that this is dried, it's been around an hour and a half, 2 hours that I've gave this to dry. I highly recommend if you're going to be using this stuff, it works amazing, but I definitely do recommend to let it dry overnight. This would only be for the wax or the stain. You just don't want it to be moist at all. If this is a rush project, so it's like a last minute gift or something like that, I recommend using a heat gun. That's what I did. The first attempt that I tried to put my vinyl on here, it didn't want to stick because it was still like a little bit moist. It wasn't like wet or anything, but just had that moisture to it, so it wasn't sticking at all. As well as I was trying to use that Oracle tape instead of the handy dandy the contact paper that I used from the Dollar Tree. So I had to cut it out again, and I'm using the contact paper this time. So this is the one that I used with the Oracle tape. I just put it back on here. I mean, eventually I could get it to kind of release back to this paper here, and I'll just kind of reuse that. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but for now I'm just like moving on. So what I did as well, so I dried it really quickly, and then I took my Mod Podge, and I always have the dishwasher safe. That's just what's on hand for me, but it doesn't matter what kind. I use Mod Podge. You don't need to do this, but once again, if you're in a hurry, I went over it and then dried it again, just so it had a little bit of a grip to grab onto. So that's what I did. And like I said, make sure it's thoroughly dry. But that's an unnecessary step if you're going to let it dry overnight, or if you're using paint or something like that. Paint, you absolutely don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is I've already weeded it. I have it on my contact paper. So now I'm just going to kind of find my center. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball it. And for me, since I can't stand over it, I'm just going to kind of use my camera to kind of see if that's straight and where I want it to be. What I'm going to do is take my ruler here and just double check that it's about right, so I know that's good because I've already measured before. So about 3¼ ,3¼ okay, so that looks good. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and push that down. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bigger XL Cricut tool to kind of push that in. So I'm just going over just the vinyl here. So I'm really pushing that in. Now when it comes to wood, you really want to use your scraper tool. So I've talked about it before about just using my fingers and stuff, but I use that with like cups and stuff that's like a rounded surface. But when it comes to wood, or if it was, oh, I'm trying to think for a second, or if it's like canvas or anything like that, I would still use my scraper tool because you really want to push it down into the surface. So I'm making sure that adhesive is really making good contact deep down in the wood and just kind of sticking to all the little pieces that it can to kind of adhere to it. Once again, I'm using Oracle 651, so this is a very strong vinyl that's going to last a long time. So I'm probably already going to know that I'm going to get questions about should you seal this with some sort of sealant or a Mod Podge or something like that, and you do not need to. But if it's going to be inside, not at all. You're not going to need to seal this whatsoever. So this is just a cheap DIY farmhouse decor. This would make a great gift. I already spoke about, you know, if it was my last name, I could do a T, right, Thomas Established. Also, I've seen where people are getting some handles from, say, like Hobby Lobby or Lowe's or like a junk store and getting some drawer handles, and you would want to just screw those down here, and then you could make some sort of like carrier. I can't think of like what, it's like a TV tray or something like that, but that would be super cool too. And I may do that afterwards, so I'm not too sure what I want to do, whether I want to hang this on my wall or whether I want to add that. If I do, I'll add a picture of it to my Instagram. So once I get this to where it's going, I'll probably update, or if I add handles, I'll update that picture on my thumbnail here. So I just wanted to kind of share as I'm making some things. So let's try this again. Hopefully this time it should be sticking, and it is. So huge difference with making sure that the wood is dry. And like I said, I added a little bit of that Mod Podge for me, just to give it something to kind of give it a little bit of a grip, since it wasn't like an acrylic paint or anything like that. So there is that. Isn't that super cute? The thing that I love about this is the fact that it is completely free. So like this design right here is completely free in Cricut Design Space. If you're an Access member, I don't have to go and try to design that out. This is a great quick last minute gift, or just trying to make decor for my house. I'm one of those people that I really don't like to just kind of write all this out or go find the font on the font like I do, but I'm not the person that just loves to do that. One of my cousins, which her name is Brittany, she's amazing at that. She can really just find a great font on the font and just have these amazing fonts going on. So if I need her to write something, she'll do it for me really quick. A quick tip from me is if you really need this project, or if you're like me and you're impatient and you don't like to really let a project really sit there, use your heat gun if you have one. It doesn't have to be a craft one, it could be a regular heat gun, or your blow dryer, just to kind of help speed up the process. And then just go over a quick coat. It doesn't matter what kind of Mod Podge, just to kind of give it a quick coat to kind of give it something to kind of grip to, because I didn't use, like I said, some sort of, and you may need to do that with that anyways if you're using a wax, or whether you're using like a stain, because it really needs something to kind of grip to, where like if it was acrylic paint, it gives it something to kind of hold on to. So I hope those tips kind of you find those tips helpful. But there it is, super cute. I'm in love with the way it came out. Like I said, I may end up adding some handles to this and creating what you call like a TV tray. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.